The movie opens up in a laboratory where a group of scientists are working to create a highly valuable scent for their employer. They are using a rare flower that only blooms once in a century. After hours of hard work and perseverance, the scientists eventually create this desired perfume, and they are overjoyed by their achievement. The scene then shifts to a young and messy-looking man named Chong-Soo, who wakes up late in the morning and rushes to get ready for work. Despite being in a hurry, Chong-Soo shows his warm nature by stopping to help needy people along the way. Unfortunately, he arrives late at the bus station, and the bus driver and other passengers are not pleased with him. An elderly woman on the bus even scolds Chong-Soo for making them wait. It becomes clear that it's not the first time that he's done this. At the next stop, a beautiful girl named Ah-ra boards the bus, and Chong-Soo can't help but stare at her. He quietly admits to himself that she's the reason he takes the bus every day. Eventually, Chong-Soo reaches his workplace where his boss is berating the employees for not performing their duties correctly. Chong-Soo also receives some scolding from his superior, who orders him to dress more professionally and treat the customers with respect. It's revealed that he works at a car dealership as a salesperson. Later, Chong-Soo's colleague James approaches him and asks if he's confessed his feelings to the girl on the bus. Chong-Soo replies with a no, and James warns him to open up to her before someone else does. He even attempts to demonstrate how to do it, but ends up getting slapped by a lady. Meanwhile, we get a glimpse into Ah-ra's life. She works at a finance company and spends most of her days with her close friend, Yoon-hee. Yoon-hee enjoys thinking about boys and dating, but Ah-ra has a different outlook. She doesn't believe in love and relationships because she was betrayed by an ex-boyfriend 5 years ago. Ah-ra's lack of interest in dating and socializing with boys concerns Yoon-hee, and she encourages her to move on from her past and start enjoying her life. Later, the two girls visit the office cafeteria to place their orders. To their surprise, Ah-ra's ex-boyfriend Jack now works there and takes their orders. Ah-ra is shocked but tries to act normal, ordering a cappuccino. Jack responds politely and suggests they wait for their orders to be prepared. In the next scene, Chong-Soo goes to a high-end store to buy himself a suit. However, when he sees the price tags, he realizes the items are much more expensive than he expected. In his rush to leave, he accidentally damages a mannequin wearing an expensive suit. He tries to flee the store, but the employees catch him and ask him to pay for the damages. When Chong-Soo asks how much, they respond 770,000 yen. This sends our hero into a state of panic, as the amount is more than 3 times his monthly salary. Nevertheless, he uses up most of his savings to pay for the damaged suit and takes it to the office. Back at the office, James tries to comfort Chong-Soo, who is feeling down. He decides to try on the expensive suit, but accidentally tears it further. Seeing this, Chong-Soo begins to cry like a baby. Later in the evening, when Ah-ra returns home, someone secretly takes photos of her. Upon entering, she finds her mother and her sister Eon. They are busy dancing and ordering food online. Eon aspires to become a rock star, and their mother is enthusiastically supporting her using Ah-ra's hard-earned money. This reckless spending frustrates Ah-ra, especially when her mom suggests buying a car for Eon. An argument ensues between them, and Ah-ra storms off to her room. The story then shifts to Chong-Soo, who is camping alone and preparing his meal. There, he encounters a single father with his daughter, and the two men bond over their shared romantic sufferings. After their conversation, as Chong-Soo is returning home at night, he encounters a mysterious man. The latter hands him a bottle of perfume before vanishing into the darkness. The following morning, Chong-Soo wakes up and goes about his normal routine. He notices the perfume from the previous night and casually sprays it on himself. Surprisingly, when he walks outside, the scent affects the girls nearby. They become hypnotized and start following him. Seeing this, Chong-Soo gets scared and quickly boards the bus. But even there, things are different. The elderly woman who always scolds him for being late is smitten by his scent, so she showers him with kisses and hugs. A little while later, Ah-ra boards the same bus and is also affected by the scent. However, she manages to control herself and takes a seat near Chong-Soo. Upon reaching his office, Chong-Soo shares the strange incident with James. However, the goofy friend doesn't believe him and decides to experience the scent's effects for himself. But at the same time, their boss arrives at the scene and catches them in a compromising position. Meanwhile, Ah-ra shares her bus experience with Yoon-hee, and the latter is delighted to hear that her friend is finally developing feelings for someone. Meanwhile, someone appears to be stalking Ah-ra. He comments that their experiment has become a success. This raises questions about whether someone is intentionally trying to bring Ah-ra and Chong-Soo closer. In the next scene, Chong-Soo revisits the suit store with a plan in mind. He wants to attract the female employees and return the suit for a refund. However, his plan goes awry when he uses the perfume. The scent draws the attention of all the ladies in the room, who start chasing him. Luckily, Ah-ra, who is also in the store, notices Chong-Soo and rescues him from the pursuing crowd. But she too gets affected by the scent and impulsively kisses him. Seconds later, Ah-ra snaps out of it and walks away embarrassed, but Chong-Soo is delighted by the unexpected kiss. Back at the office, Chong-soo appears happy and keeps on smiling. He even surprises everyone by inviting his boss to dinner at a restaurant. Later, both Chong-soo and Ah-ra, along with their friends, James and Yoon-hee, coincidentally end up at the same restaurant. They notice each other and try to hide their reactions. However, James and Yoon-hee encourage them to face their feelings and start dating. After the party ends, a totally wasted Ah-ra wakes up back home alone. Unbeknownst to her, Chong-soo is following her. He wants to use the perfume's effect on her again. However, he ultimately decides against it and sits beside her at the bus stop. To his dismay, the intoxicated Ah-ra teases him about his appearance and asks an awkward question. Does he want to sleep with her? In the next scene, both of them are seen inside a hotel room sharing the bed. Ah-ra wakes up first, feeling embarrassed, and quietly leaves the room. As she departs, Chong-soo also awakens and assures himself that nothing happened between them. The following morning, both Chong-soo and Ah-ra, feeling guilty about their actions from the previous night, decide to take a different bus to work. However, they coincidentally end up on the same bus once again. This time, Chong-soo gathers his courage and hands his business card to Ah-ra as she gets off at the next station. Surprisingly, she accepts it without any hesitation. Back at the office, Ah-ra can't stop thinking about Chong-soo and realizes that she has developed feelings for him. She keeps the card a secret from Yoon-hee and then messages Chong-soo, inviting him to meet her at an aquarium planet. Chong-soo, who has been eagerly waiting for this moment, is overjoyed to receive the invitation. Following this, we are taken to the laboratory where one of the scientists mentions their perfume experience seems to be showing positive effects on Chong-soo. It's then revealed that he's the only test subject on whom the perfume has had an impact. Next, Ah-ra and Chong-soo meet at the aquarium, where our boy confesses his love for her. To his surprise, Ah-ra reciprocates, admitting that she has never felt this way before. They both smile, marking the beginning of their relationship. From that day onwards, the two become inseparable. They also introduce their friends, Yoon-hee and James, to each other, and as expected, the two start dating. The story then shifts to a stalker who has been secretly observing Ah-ra. He is none other than her ex-boyfriend, Jack. It appears he's involved in the creation of the perfume and is unhappy with the growing relationship between Ah-ra and Chong-soo. The next day, Jack visits Chong-soo's workplace, pretending to be interested in buying a car. He seizes the opportunity to warn Chong-soo about the perfume's effects. Jack claims that Ah-ra's affection for Chong-soo is only because of the perfume, and when it runs out, she will leave him. Shocked, Chong-soo asks Jack about his identity, but the latter simply mentions that he's the creator of the perfume. After this encounter, Chong-soo starts to worry that Ah-ra will eventually leave him. So he decides to get rid of the perfume, but continues his relationship with her. The following week, it's Ah-ra's birthday, and the four friends decide to go on a camping trip to celebrate. During their celebration, Chong-soo presents Ah-ra with the beautiful necklace as a gift. This delights our heroine, and she comments that she has never received such a thoughtful gift before. Using the opportunity, Chong-soo inquires if she's been receiving any calls related to the perfume, but Ah-ra denies it. After the camping trip, as Chong-soo is headed home for the night, he encounters Jack on the way. The evil guy once again mocks his appearance and claims that Ah-ra would never fall for him without the perfume. He asserts that she will break up with him soon. However, Chong-soo responds that his relationship with Ah-ra is genuine and built on mutual affection. The next day, Ah-ra receives a perfume as a gift and assumes that Chong-soo sent it. However, when she calls him, he denies sending it. At the same time, Jack appears before her and starts talking. When Chong-soo hears his voice over the phone, he panics and rushes to her office. Meanwhile, Jack finally reveals the truth about the perfume to Ah-ra. He claims that she would never have developed feelings for someone like Chong-soo without the perfume's influence. At first, Ah-ra denies being affected by the perfume, but then she begins to doubt herself and wonders how her feelings for Chong-soo started. After a while, our hero finally arrives at Ah-ra's office, only to find it closed. At her home, Ah-ra grapples with the thoughts about the perfume and avoids answering Chong-soo's calls. However, later she visits his apartment with dinner and suggests they talk. During their conversation, Chong-soo remains silent, prompting Ah-ra to ask if he has something to say. She asks about the perfume and questions if their relationship is based on a lie. Chong-soo initially denies it, but the bottle of perfume falls out of his pocket, ruining the moment. This expectedly angers Ah-ra, and she storms out of the apartment with Chong-soo following her. After their conflict, Ah-ra goes directly to Jack's house, where she shockingly discovers several videos of her and Chong-soo being played in his room. She realizes that Jack is the stalker and the one behind the perfume experiments on her. Chong-soo also arrives at Jack's house, and a fight ensues between them. Amid the scuffle, Ah-ra manages to get a hold of the last bottle of the perfume. Jack pleads with her not to break it, explaining that the flower used to make the perfume only blooms once every 100 years. However, Ah-ra doesn't listen to his plea and shatters the bottle. Afterward, she walks out of the room, and Chong-soo stops her. He earnestly declares that his feelings for her are genuine and heartfelt. Regrettably, Aura refuses to accept their relationship and walks away. The story then fast forwards a year, and Aura is seen enjoying her time with her family. She developed a strong bond with her mother and sister, cherishing their time together. Meanwhile, Chong-soo has been promoted at work and has purchased a new car for himself. In the final scene, despite having his own car, Chong-soo decides to take the public bus to his office as he used to do. On the bus, the driver and the elderly lady are surprised by his transformed appearance and wish him well for the future. At the next stop, Aura boards the bus and Chong-soo notices her. To his amazement, she's wearing the necklace he gave her on her birthday. The two spot each other, and the movie concludes with their smiles and a friendly greeting as if they are meeting for the first time.